This literally just happened. I apologize, but I do feel like we should talk about it here on the show. Thank you to who Hinky Process says Schefter just tweeted KJ Winston officially going to the draft. So I just wanted to put this up here and get a quick reaction for the guys before we end the show. Penn State captain and all Big Ten safety Kevin Winston Jr. has declared for the NFL draft after suffering a partially torn ACL in week 2 practice that ended his season. Cowboys head team physician Dr. Dan Cooper performed the surgery on Winston's knee. He is on pace to be cleared for on-field drills by March 1st ahead of the NFL draft. And of course, then you have the first and foremost. With that being said, I'm incredibly happy. Please respect my decision. Hashtag blessed, all in the actual post from Kevin Winston Jr. So Fitz, we've been talking about this at BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. The conversation about KJ Winston and all of these details. Now that they're finally out here, anything else you guys want to add to the story of KJ Winston here?
Not a surprise. Unfortunate. Like I really am big fan of KJ Winston. I'm really disappointed we got to miss last year. I'm glad there's medical details in there because it gives, kind of Penn State fans a chance to back off because I think a lot of people thought he made a selfish decision. He tried to play through it, didn't work. The knee was not in a situation where that could do that all year. And if he did it all year, he's playing at 60%. That's not going to help his draft stock. I would have loved to see him back another year. I'm not sure where he falls in the draft scheme or in the grand scheme of where the draft is because there is so much unknown, but he did start all of 2023. So he's got a good bit of tape out there. Hopefully he's able to go by the draft process and able to work out for those things because he's a heck of a football player. Penn State will certainly miss him. That was one of the ones where I think he was probably number 2 behind Abdul Carter of most likely guys that were going to leave. And that's because Abdul's kind of in his own stratosphere. So tough break for Penn State, though not an unexpected one. I hope he finds what he's looking for. Again, big KJ Winston fan, always have been. So it's tough to stomach in that manner, but could see this one coming.
Ryan, your thoughts here?
Good to know it's partially torn ACL. I think a lot of people, including myself, kind of speculated maybe it would be the meniscus. We knew it was kind of a knee area, but we didn't know details with that. And then when you saw him not in a cast, or at least the first time I saw him in any sort of immobilizer was the Ohio State game. I believe he was on the sideline. That was the first time I spotted him. You guys may have seen something else at practice. Am I wrong with that, or any idea?
Like, I didn't go to the defense all year, so I didn't see a whole lot there.
Either he's probably not even out there. That's not even the point. But I guess when you're hearing partially torn, okay, it makes sense why James was like, well, maybe we can get him back because how partially torn was it? Were they hoping it would just kind of mend itself and not get surgery? It all kind of makes a little more sense now, 6-7 weeks into the season, on why, okay, looks like he did have some sort of surgery now because he's in the immobilizer. We didn't see that earlier in the year. Again, maybe I just missed it. I may have been, if I'm wrong on that, apologize. But like, that was the first time I had seen any sort of indication that like, something changed here, maybe with KJ, being in that immobilizer. So hey, awesome kid, awesome player, awesome family. Like Sean said, we're all big KJ Winston fans. Go get your money, man.
National championship defense with him. I mean, that's the worst part about this is how much it changed what Penn State had to do on defense this year. I guess the worst part is the injury. Nobody wants to get injured, but the second worst part that we got cheated out of. Defense is
also the opportunity, right? So we got cheated out of it. He got cheated out of the opportunity to do those great things and be a part of a defense that was going to feature him and the safety position. So I agree with the way you phrased that as well, because that was, and this is kind of what I was going to put into the conversation is, when we talk about the NFL draft and the position of safety, it is not a top position in football structure at the NFL level. So the conversation, and Fitz and I have gone back and forth on this a little bit about KJ Winston not having enough film. He has enough film to get drafted, no question. There's absolutely no question that KJ Winston is going to be a top 90 pick minimum. The question was, could he be a first-round draft pick? A couple things go into that. Freak athlete. You got to be a freak athlete at a freak size. He can be that guy, and that's why it's important. March 1st means that he's going to miss the NFL Combine, and he's going to be on the field for Pro Day. So that's going to be his big opportunity. Unless that timeline is updated, he's going to have to do a lot of this at Pro Day to prove, hey, I'm a 4-4 safety. Secondarily, from a oh, go ahead, Fitz.
Is that timeline out there? I'm sorry, I'm just we're doing this on the fly, so
he says it in the tweet here from Adam Schefter. It says on-field drills by March 1st ahead of the draft. So that would be after the NFL Combine. We were having these conversations. My wife is a personal trainer with some understanding of injury and rehab, and I was asking her, like, can he be, not knowing the injury, can he be on a track to be at the Combine to prove to NFL teams, hey, you know, he's going to ace the interviews. He's going to be a great personal organizational fit for every NFL team. That's not a question. He's going to get ringing endorsements from everybody they speak to. But does the athlete constitute going in the first round? And that was my argument for, if you come back, absolutely he can put that on film. And then from a perspective of what he is, what he did in 2023 in Manny Diaz's defense, he played that boundary position, kind of an apex, top of the box run defender. And at times, he was a bit of a third or fourth linebacker. Teams in the NFL, it's better now because there's more too high defenses. So there's more of guys aren't going to be pigeonholed into free or strong safety. But this is what happened to Jaquan Brisker, is he didn't run in the 4.4s. And all the film from 2021 was, hey, he's in the box because Penn State lost all their defensive tackles. And the conversation around him was, this is a box safety. Second round pick, goes to the Bears. Unfortunately got injured this year, but at least found the right place. KJ Winston with this year could have been putting on film, I cover, I hit, I tackle. He missed one tackle in his entire Penn State career, I think it was. He might have, before the injury, I think during the game against Bowling Green, he missed a couple of tackles, and it took a partially torn ACL for that to happen. So that's I just wanted to set the picture for, I think, the draft conversation and expectation for KJ Winston here to get out on the show. And we're going super long here, so I appreciate you guys just doing this here and having this conversation about KJ Winston. But I want to give you, as always, I want to give you guys the final word. Fitz, anything you want to clean up there?
No, not really. I'm excited to see his pro prospects again. I think he's a really good prospect. I mean, just the letdown is just, hey, he played 1 week and he was the National Defensive Player of the Week. Yeah, he had a good year in him, and that sucks to see it.